Hello again, everybody. This is Amorgin, and you're very welcome back to this next community panel discussion where we're joined by Thaler from Server 26 and Flando from Server 131, and we're going to discuss the debacle around the maintenance that happened there today, guys. So sit back and let's look at how Scopely once again broke the game.
Man, I bet you a lot of people got drained.
Probably
That's
did.
usually what happens.
There was a meme going around. It was quite funny. You can't log in until your base has been raided.
So I got a thousand latinum.
Mm-hmm.
1 million. I think the same thing as you, Morgan. Yeah, same thing.
It is from what I've gathered. It's meant to be ops level based. So the bracket like 28 and 29 levels, and 30 and 31,
Mm-hmm.
24,
Yeah.
35. I think it's based like that.
It's banded, of course.
Yeah. And did you get much the same, Flando?
Well, that's the thing. So when I clicked on my appreciation chest, it froze. So I backed out, went back in to claim it again, and it was gone. So I didn't see my platinum amount didn't actually increase. So as far as I'm concerned, I didn't actually get the rewards.
And are you hearing this on server 131 generally?
Yeah, there's been a few people that have had the exact same issue as me. Yeah,
Okay.
a couple of guys in my alliance as well, actually.
I got a feeling, by the way. You can tell right before a major release, they kind of have filler events. I call them.
Yep.
And that's fine, except it's pretty obvious that they're gonna make a major change. And that's what I've noticed.
We have touched on this before. Yeah.
So
it is a sure sign. Do you think we're looking then at G4 coming in very soon? Is that what's going on?
I commented that on Admiral Jensen's video.
Yeah.
Actually, on his video, I did say, this, the lead up to Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving, the 1 year anniversary. I feel like something big is gonna happen. And I kind of feel that the repeating events and nothing unique is indicative of that. That was my feeling, and it looks like it's true.
Yeah, Panic and the moderators were flat out today. They created a channel simply for this maintenance reaction.
Right. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So all they had to do, and we discussed this prior to the recording, all they needed to do was apply a 24-hour shield on every base. If you already had a shield, extend it by 24 hours. So if you had a 7-day shield, make it an 8-day shield, whatever. Then you recall all ships, you repair all ships, and give them you can still give the loyalty chest, appreciation chest, because there are gonna be some people pissed off that they didn't get their letting them know that they've been sitting on for the last 2 weeks or whatever. I get that. That'd be those people who are pissed. And then autocomplete all dailies. Just everyone, all your
I
dailies.
like the auto completing all dailies. I think a lot of people would take that quicker than the loyalty chest or the appreciation chest.
Oh yeah.
It just autocomplete all dailies, reset all the ships. I mean, if anything, some systems, are full of floaters. You know what I'm saying? You know those systems. But anyhow, and then that's just this thing. When it was a maintenance window, you're gonna expect this to happen. You're gonna be glad. Hey, I don't have to do my dailies. All my dailies gonna be auto completed. I have dailies that I can't even complete. For example, like my swarm event, I can't kill 28 and 30 swarms. So I would be glad about that. And I don't need any. I wouldn't need any loyalty chests. And not only that, if I know a maintenance is going to happen and they knew they're going to auto repair all ships, I would destroy all my ships.
Aye.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, on you go. Sorry.
No, I mean, but to me, does that sound reasonable? And wouldn't be, like for example, if the servers were still down, and I knew that all my dailies were done, and all my ships were home, and my base, couldn't be attacked for 24 hours, then okay, fine. A minor inconvenience. I can't play the game because they're dealing with the server, but they're hopefully generating something good. You know what I'm saying? They're fixing it, they're resolving it, and again. So, at my job, we maintain tens of thousands of servers. instances that are running all around the world, right? And whenever we have a patch or a release that is global, we have this concept of crawl, walk, run, where you release it in a very isolated, the smallest venue. And to translate it in our game, it would probably be the founder server. You release it there first, and literally the founder server would get the content a day or two or even a week prior, to everybody else. And I would be fine with that. And I don't understand the secrecy behind a lot of these things, but that's just me. That's just me.
Well, they probably wouldn't allow that to happen, because then I get to showcase a load of their content before they're NDA'd content creators, and there'd be a lot of sour
No.
grapes out there. I'm not going to name drop like you do, Thaler.
I know, but maybe as part of the NDA, they get to be added to the
it would make sense.
server.
It would make sense that the likes of myself and Econ, who've been around this game longer than most people, that we get to test this and we get to show people what's coming, but with the proviso that changes can be made yet.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, we're putting it on this server. First release,
What a way to get feedback from people if they're wondering what to, in the smaller decisions, the sort of things that Keenser likes when he's tying with an idea. They've already made their decision, but they're happy to listen to the players for the smaller little detailed things. What a way to get that feedback. Release it to the founder server. Let guys on the founder server get the YouTube thing going, and let us showcase how it works, all the wee nuanced things that we're discovering, and then on the feedback that we're getting, then act on your smaller details and all of that. But anyway, that's digressing off the whole thing. I'm very happy with the 51-hour speed ups, I have to say. Right, I like that.
In all honesty, I think it's more the notice period that's got on everyone's back more than anything else. Now I know Panic did say shortly after he announced the first maintenance that he'll try and give 24 hours notice, and he apologised, and I get that. But then literally when the game came back up, within 15 minutes, I believe it was, or around that time, there was a Galaxy Chat notification, maintenance in 5 minutes time. So people who had logged on to the game, maybe had a base or had a ship, wasted their shield, have just been told that we're going to have more maintenance, you're going to have to use another shield. I think it's more the notice period and this very small, window of time that players had to prepare and, get themselves sorted for this maintenance. And no one was told how long this maintenance was for.
And that would suggest that that Panic's not being told in good time. You know what I mean? Like, you'd imagine he knows the shite he's going to have to deal with when the players start giving out. He's the one that has to deal with it, and the moderators. If they're not being lazy and not releasing this and then dealing with all the shite, they're just not getting the information clearly.
I mean, even just like that, I don't even if they've done just a scheduled maintenance, like a weekly maintenance, same day, same time. I know that you do get emergency maintenance, for quick fixes. I get that, but if you just scheduled a maintenance on, let's say, Monday at 12 p.m. UK time or whatever, just so everyone knew that they had this weekly thing that they had to have a shield for.
Makes sense. Just then, in terms of that idea, Thaler, you were talking about that this could be the precursor to new content or to changes in the game or whatever it is. Like, if that is the case, if we're sitting here in a week's time or 2 weeks' time and new stuff comes into the game and we realise that this is just a stopgap, they're bridging us with the same old events until we get there, they would have known. Then, if this mess is because they're bringing in new stuff into the game, preparing for that, they would have known well in advance.
I disagree. No, I disagree, and here's why. So, look at their past history on their release, how they release, right? This has happened before, right? So, they probably have an internal server, QA server, something like that, beta server, whatever you want to call it, with their employees, maybe a couple people who are NDA'd, scattered around, whatever, but it's not going to be load tested. So the server, when it has 10,000 people on it, for example, right? They can't test that in a controlled environment. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I get, okay, I don't understand why the secrecy for anything. So if either they did the founder server, like we talked about earlier, or a random server, for example, I don't know. I'm just saying, but you put out a server, and yeah, that server's going to get content before everybody else. But guess what? There are going to be some pains, and we talked about how you reset all the bases, you do all the dailies, and as compensation for that, whatever. And then I think if it was just part of maintenance, it would just become a regular thing. You see what I'm saying? And it wouldn't be a big deal. And then, hey, there's new content. We're updating the server. There are new, applications or database changes they have to make for whatever. Transcribe this and make new tables for that, and make new events for actions inside the client that have already been sent out, months ahead of time because of the way the app stores work. They can't just release code on the day of. It takes weeks to roll stuff out. So it's clearly they're updating the servers. The clients probably have things already in them. We already talked to people about looking at the bytecode of the clients, and seeing models and things that are in there. So it's to me it's clear that and obviously the time window, we're coming towards Thanksgiving, which is the 1 year anniversary, right? In like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yes.
So it's clear to me they're making a major change. So, we talked about having major changes in the game and, changing the way the game works and all that kind of stuff, and comparing it versus other games and all these ideas, well, guess what? They're doing it, but unfortunately, like many things, my experience with, large companies and massive rollouts, it's always operations that is looked at last. And so, yeah, you can develop a great idea, you can implement it, you can market it and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes out to the last stage of release, it's to actually make it work in a live environment with live customers. And so what happens is that stage to be able to write code and so that it and net code and have the servers available and the load balancing and and all that. That's that you need to be able to ramp up to. That's why the crawl, walk, run idea, you release it slowly and get out of your lack of a better word, get out of your system that you have to make everything secret. That everybody has to experience all the content at the same time across all the servers around the world. Just that's not going to happen. You just can't do it. And what happens is, maybe Japan gets the content, in the crawl phase. Maybe Japan gets it first, and then all the people. How many times do you watch a show?
Yeah.
Whatever your favorite show is.
At the end of the day, though, there was an awful lot of Discord was hopping, right? It was hopping all day because people went. Now there's a lot of people taking the piss, and it was a wee bit entertaining. I don't know if you were watching some of it, Flando, but I found the few moments that I got to look at it, and I weighed in with a few comments myself. It was entertaining in its own way because there was a lot of people taking the piss and making fun of it. The Chuck Norris meme, where it's like saying that Scopely have balls for testing this, for doing the testing this when they release it. You know what I mean? For not testing it beforehand properly. There
was one I have. It was pay £99 to play the game. Yeah. I was in stitches when I seen that. I just couldn't help a laugh.
I have a T-shirt. That says "Test it in production."
Yeah. That's what there was a lot of memes going around with that kind of stuff on it. So it was entertaining in some ways. Like of course, a couple of content creators, and again, I'll not drop names, like took it as an opportunity to promote their channels and try to get a few subs out of it. Like,
I've seen that too.
but I had my say on that, and I actually made a suggestion to Panic that he should just jump on a plane, come to Ireland, and we'll go on the beer and. Let Scopely sort it out, but he didn't get back to me on that one.
So the thing is, when you're a large company and you're as popular as, we have a popular game like this, you don't want to be the news that your servers are down. You want to be in the news that, you came up with something great, your population base is thriving, you're using the IP in a responsible way, you know what I'm saying, expanding it and making people's lives enjoyable. Being known for operational things like this, because you wanted to be secretive and release things, on the sly, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just roll it out.
Yeah,
Crawl. Pick a server. Yeah, pick a server. Then put a region.
I think we're losing Taylor there, Flando.
Yeah, I think so. Just on what Taylor said about the secrecy. I don't even know what the maintenance was actually for today.
No, exactly. Yeah.
I'd had panicking on the Discord Galaxy chat, and I got no reply, and all the replies from other players were like, we don't know, So it could have been anything really for all we know about. I think that's one thing we need to know. If they're going to be doing a maintenance, at least let us know, that it's a patch for this, and this. It's nice to know, what they're fixing on a weekly or a monthly or fortnightly basis.
If anything,
keep us in the loop.
If anything, it would allow us to focus and test on specific things. Like, for example, let's say, in the past they had patches or notes that said, "Hey, we focused on some officers. Here's some officers. Let us know, what you think." You know what I'm saying? And then we would go out and we would busy bee and test them. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen any of those type of messages in the last 4 months.
Yeah, no, and I suppose the final thing I want to ask, guys, because I don't want this to run on too long, but do you think that with the reaction there was today, do you think with the overwhelming reaction and activity that there was on that maintenance channel, do you think that they learn anything from this? Do you think, as a company, do you think they're going to take a look at themselves now tonight or tomorrow and go, shit, we can't let that happen again? What steps can we take to make sure this doesn't happen again?
What I hope about that is they've not given us the appreciation chest to buy our silence. I hope that they've done that genuinely from the good of their heart. To say, look, we messed up.
Yeah.
This is our way of saying sorry.
Yeah.
Not to say, take this and just shut up and move on.
Yeah.
I hope that's not what they've done.
And the gripe I would have with that, like, I like the 50 tokens I said, but I'd mentioned earlier to you guys, when you listen to the community's complaints on what they're short on and what they need, if you're going to give an apology, give the people what they want. Give them rare and uncommon refined materials. You know what I mean?
Just to interrupt you there, I'm on in game just now, and the chest rewards have just popped up on my screen.
Okay. So there you have it, live breaking news as you're watching this.
I can send you a screenshot. I can go live if you want for a second, if that makes it any easier.
You can send me the screenshot if it's any different to mine, but I can use mine if it's the same.
Mine's the same as yours.
Same. I've got 1,020 lat, so I got 20 more lat.
Oh, and what level are you?
30.
Right. It's not an awful lot more then, yeah.
No, so 20 more lat and 50k trip, as in...
How many speed ups?
Not 51 hours.
51, so you get an extra speed up.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
But there it is, a bit stingy. And a bit of a balls up. Hopefully they'll take a look at this, and hopefully they'll reach out to the community and pay attention to what people are saying, the practical ideas that are out there. Any final comments, guys, before we wrap it up?
All I'm going to say is I hope some of the ideas that we brought up in this video are considered, and that they do us, like I said, the crawl, walk, run, release on one server, then release it to a region, and then to the world. And don't worry about secrecy and all that stuff and blah blah blah. Just that's just, when you run an operation that's this big, you're gonna have to make those type of rollouts. It's just that simple.
Fair enough. Flando?
Give us a weekly maintenance. Let us know we're going to do a maintenance this day, this time, every week, and let us know what it is they're fixing beforehand.
And I suppose the final comment that I'll make on it is, of course, try not to make these mistakes in the first place, but they do happen. And when they do, don't be as stingy with the compensation to people. Acknowledge the mistake and be a little bit fairer about the whole thing. Give us stuff that we want. Right, so we're going to leave it at that, guys. Like and subscribe and all that if you like it. Jump in the Discord, the links will be below, and you can chat to Flando or Thaler or myself or any of the other panelists. And until the next time, look after yourselves and look after each other, and I'll chat to you all again soon. Cheers.